ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। अष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। Hare Krishna. Okay, we continue from where we left off yesterday. We are discussing the internal reasons for appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this was the last verse we read. Neither the gopis nor I shall notice this. Notice what? This Upapati Bhava. We discussed this. So neither gopis nor Krishna is saying, neither the gopis nor I will notice it. For our mind will always be entranced by one another's beauty and qualities. And I was explaining how, everything is in the mode of service. Right? There is nothing for sense gratification. While it might seem to us like sense gratificatory activities, but none of them are sense gratification because they are not for personal sense gratification. They are for the sense gratification of Krishna, which is the ultimate goal of life, which is the ultimate use of the senses, which is the ultimate reason why this whole world is existing, right? Raso vai saha. Because Krishna wanted to enjoy, he created all of us. So it is our constitutional position to actually may act in such a way that he is pleased. So everything that happens, in the spiritual world is just purely for Krishna's pleasure. Okay, so we'll continue from here. धर्मचारी रागे दुन्हे दुही करये मिलाना, कबू मिले कबू ना मिले दैवेर घटाना. Krishna is saying, pure attachment will unite us even at the expense of moral and religious duties. Pure attachment will unite us even at the expense of moral and religious duties. Destiny, Daivera Ghatana, whether we will meet or not, is decided by destiny. Krishna is saying destiny will sometimes bring us together, sometimes separate us. And so the whole activities in Goloka Vrindavana, the seva of the gopis is to actually bring Radha and Krishna together. And then, like Krishna is saying, destiny, which is himself. So Yogamaya separates them because then the sweetness in the union actually increases much more. Of course, even in separation, it is said that in separation, the love is more than in union. So everything that is being done is just because Krishna likes it that way. And Krishna is just like an ordinary person speaking here, saying like it's pure attachment between us, but it's pure attachment. It's not impure attachment. It's pure attachment. So it will unite us even at the expense of moral and religious duties. This moral and religious duties is not for them. It is for us who are not on that platform. So Krishna and Gopi seem to be transgressing moral and religious duties, but these duties are not meant for them at all in the first place. And destiny will sometimes bring us together, sometimes separate us. So this is the beauty of Krishna's pastimes. Everything is is difficult to understand. Um, when we hear about the pastimes there, most of the times, like, even though Krishna comes in front of Radharani, then Radharani doesn't want to speak to him. She shows mana. Right, then when he's not there, then she's lamenting for Krishna to come to meet Krishna. So it's all inconceivable, but anything and everything that is happening there is just for the pleasure of Krishna. Uh, I was thinking Radharani wants Krishna's pleasure so much that even at the hmm, every act she does, even in showing that mana, she knows that by showing that mana, Krishna is pleased. Uh, or by being away, she's not able to take the pain, but she knows by that Krishna is pleased. So everything that is done is just for the pleasure of Krishna. Just for the pleasure of Krishna. Radharani says that if Krishna finds happiness in meeting some other gopi, I will make all the required arrangements. I will actually become maid servant in her house. So this is Radharani's mood. She is always in the mood of serving Krishna. There's nothing, no uh, thought of sense gratification here. Right, but then the pastimes are very, very difficult to comprehend unless we stick ourselves to these basics, right? Unless our foundation is very, very strong, tattva, rasa tattva, the understanding of rasa, unless it is very strong, we will end up actually mostly when we hear Radha Krishna pastimes, we will just hear it as a conditioned soul. Uh, right, we will just okay, Radharani is angry at Krishna. We will just think about mundane girl, or maybe in our relationships, maybe those married and between couple, whatever kind of emotional exchanges happen. But it's not that. It's completely on a different platform, right? So, which is why before entering into hearing too many of Radha Krishna's pastimes, and many of them are very intimate actually, and it just goes on going more and more and more deep, 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 yeah, in intimacy, um, right? So, we have to at least try to understand basics of the tattva, right, of the love of gopis and love of Radharani. Then we can try to understand. We can try to understand. Only if we are pure in our heart, only then we can understand it completely. Right? So it just depends on the purity in our heart. Purity means what? To the extent that we want sense gratification, we can't understand any of this. To the extent we want Krishna's pleasure, we want to serve Krishna, we will be able to slowly, by His mercy, by His mercy, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, we will be able to understand some things. हे सब रस निर्यास करीब आस्वादा हे द्वारे करीब सब भक्तेरे prasada. I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, and in this way I shall favor all the devotees. And this is the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu partly came to taste these rasas, right? Brajera nirmala raga shuni bhakta gana raga marge bhaje yena chadi dharma karma. Then by hearing about the pure love of the residents of Raja, devotees will worship me on the path of spontaneous love, Raga Marga. Huh? Chadi Dharma Karma. Chadi Dharma Karma. Dharma and Karma, Chadi, giving up, abandoning all Dharma and Karma. Hmm. Karma here, Prabhupada is translating as fruitive activity. It's not that Samanya Karma cannot be given up, like eating, sleeping, etc., because the body and soul have to be maintained together. But fruitive activity for any gain, sense gratification, all, and dharma also, all other dharma, sarva dharma, only hang on to paradharma, paro dharmo, savai pumsam paro dharmo, only hold on to paradharma and chadi, right? Give up all other dharma. Hmm. So how will we get there? How will we get to this spontaneous raga marga? By hearing about the pure love of the residents of Raja. So this is why this hearing is most important. I've been highlighting this a lot. Hearing about pastimes of Krishna, Swayam Krishna, is very, very important. It's not like we have to keep reading only all other avatara. We are hearing, we are hearing, we are hearing. But then when it comes to Krishna, then nobody talks about Krishna. No, it's not like that. We should hear. We should hear, but we should hear the pure love. We should hear about the pure love. We should not speculate about these, right? But by hearing about the pure love, we will end up worshipping Krishna on the Raga Marga. Mm. So it's important that we do quality hearing. And of course, that is PhD topics. These are PhD topics. So first we have to finish off our schooling, high school, uh, degree, etc. Right? Which is basically material attachment. Uh, you know, na sochati na kankshati, coming to Brahma Bhuta, and then making progress. Then we can hear the pure love of the residents of Raja, and then we will come to Raga Marga. अनुग्रहाय भक्तानां मानुषं देहमाश्रितः भजते तादृशी क्रीडा याः कृत्वा तत्परो भवेत्. In Bhagavatam 10th canto 33, Krishna manifests his eternal human-like form and performs his pastimes to show mercy to the devotees. Having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. Same thing. So like I said, he makes a statement, then he substantiates it from Shastra. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. And this beautiful one, we should always remember this. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bujabo Say Yugala Priti. It is a very beautiful song by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. But that is Vishaya Chadiya. Vishaya Chadiya Kabhi Shuddha Hobe Man. So when we give up this Vishaya, materialism, then mind will become pure. Then we can come to all these stages. We should always sing that song by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. भवेत् क्रिय विधिलिन से इहा कया कर्तव्यावश्य ये अन्यथा प्रत्यवाय. Here the use of the word bhavet, which is in the imperative word, tells us that this certainly must be done. Non-compliance would be an abandonment of duty. What is must be done? Should engage. Ultimately, they should engage. Having heard the pastimes, one must engage in service to him. That means that one must come to this raga marg. If you don't do, then it is abandonment of duty. Krishna is saying. एवञ्च ऐचे कृष्ण प्राकट्य कारण असुर संहार आनु संग प्रयोजन एमत चैतन्य कृष्ण पूर्ण भगवान युग धर्म प्रवर्तन नाहेतार काम. Just as these desires are the fundamental reasons for Krishna's appearance, whereas destroying the demons is only an incidental necessity. So for Krishna Chaitanya, Supreme Person of Godhead, promulgating the dharma of the age is incidental. So that he came to give us Nama Sankirtana is incidental. Kona karane yabe haila avatare mana yuga dharma kala haila se kale milana. When the Lord desired to appear for another reason, the time for promulgating the religion of the age also arose. We discuss. Dui hetu avatari ilaya bhakta gana apane aswade prema nama sankirtana. Thus, with two intentions, the Lord appeared with his devotees and tasted the nectar of prema with the congregational chanting of the holy name. So that is why the process which he came to give actually was with the intention of tasting that nectar of prema, which is what he wanted to taste, right? And the process was the congregational chanting. So he came dharma samsthapanarthaya. What process did he give? He gave the process by which he could also taste the nectar of prema. So both the intentions were fulfilled. Congregational chanting, which is Yuga Dharma, was also given. The same time, through that congregational chanting, he was able to taste the nectar of prema, which was his desire. Te dvare achandale kirtana sanchare nama prema mala ganthi paraila samsare. Thus he spread kirtana even among the untouchables. He wove a wreath of the holy name and prema with which he garlanded the entire material world. हे मत भक्त भाव करी अंगीकार apani achari bhakti karila prachara. In this way, assuming the sentiment of a devotee, he preached devotional service by practicing it himself. So he showed us how to practice devotional service. So by reading life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, we can actually understand how to practice devotional service and also how to preach. दास्य सख्य वात्सल्य आरये श्रृंगार चारि prema chaturvidha bhakta I adhara. Four kinds of devotees are the receptacles of the four kinds of mellows in love of God, namely servitude, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. निज निज भाव सबे श्रेष्ठ करी माने निज भावे करे Krishna sukha aswadane. Each kind of devotee feels that his sentiment is the most excellent. So somebody in Sakya feels Sakya is best, Vatsalya feels Vatsalya is best. uh, and thus in that mood he tastes great happiness with Lord Krishna, because the devotee feels his sentiment is most excellent. He tastes great happiness. It's not like we were discussing yesterday. It's not like, oh, I couldn't get that, so let me settle for something lower. Not like that. That is what gives them, that is their constitutional question, that's what gives them true happiness. So they are happy, and they think that their love is excellent, and they are happy with that. They're happy, they taste the happiness with Krishna. तटस्थ है मने हैया मने मने विचार यदि खरी तब तब रस हईते श्रृंगारे अधिक माधुरी. But if you compare the sentiments in an impartial mood, tatastha hayya, we find that conjugal sentiment is superior to all others in how? In sweetness. So Shringara is sweetest. Shringara is the sweetest. Yathottaram asau swada visheshollasamyapi ratirvasananya swadvi bhasate kapi kasyachit. Increasing love is experienced in various states, one above another. Increasing love. Bhaktira Samdha Sindhu. But the love which has the highest taste in the gradual succession of desire manifests itself in the form of conjugal love. Highest taste in the gradual succession of desire. So basically Madhurya Rasa is the highest taste, sweetest. अतएव मधुर रस कही तार नामा स्वकीया परकीया भावे द्विविध संस्थाना. Therefore, I call it Madhura Rasa because it is the sweetest. It's actually technically called Shingara Rasa. So it's also called Madhura Rasa because it is the sweetest. It has two further divisions, namely wedded and unwedded love. Swakiya. Swakiya means wedded, own. Parakiya means another's, and unwedded, basically. Parakiya bhave ati rasera ullasa vraja vina ihara anyatra nai vasa. Parakiya bhave ati rasera ullasa. Great increase. Ati. Very great. Rasa ullasa. Great increase of mellow in the Parakiya bhave. Raja vina ihara anyatra nahi vasa. Such love is found nowhere else but in Raja. That means this Parakiya bhava doesn't reside anywhere else except in Vraja. Vrajavadhu ganerai bhava niravadhi tara madhye Shri Radhaya bhavera avadhi. This mood is unbounded. Unbounded. Niravadhi. In the damsels of Vraja, meaning infinitely it exists. But among them it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. So it's unlimited in the Vrajavadhus, young wives of Raja. But it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. All the gopis also have, great lot of, or whatever, unbounded amount of Parakiya Bhava, but it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. Praudha Nirmala Bhava Prema Sarvottama Krishnera Madhurya Rasa Swada Karana. Her pure, mature love surpasses that of all others. So this is the truth. This is the ultimate truth. Her pure love surpasses all others. Externally, they just talk about, okay, Chandravali and this and that and all, but no comparison. No comparison. surpasses that of all others. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna's tasting the sweetness of conjugal relationship. Her love is the cause, not anybody else's love. Her love, because she loves Krishna, then Krishna is able to enjoy taste the sweetness of conjugal relationship. Madhurya rasa aswadana karana. So just imagine what is the position of Srimati Radharani. Because of her love, Krishna is tasting the sweetness of Madhurya rasa. But for her, he wouldn't have been able to taste. And even after that, he's not able to understand how she tastes Madhurya rasa. So he wants to understand that. So he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in Goloka Vrindavana, he is able to taste Madhurya rasa um, because of her love. But her love is so great that he is not able to understand it at all. So he wants to understand her love and the depth of her love. And so he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Radha Rani is the topmost. She is the boss. Generally, everywhere else we say Krishna is the boss, but in Goloka Vrindavana, Radharani is the boss. He is the controller. Rajeshwari, she is Rajeshwari. She is the Ishwari. She is the controller of Raja. And everything that happens there is controlled by her. But her control is not self-centered or for sense gratification. Her control or whatever she does is simply pure love, mature love for Krishna, just to please him. Somebody with so much of power and control, we might think that, oh, naturally in the material world, somebody with power and control will be swarthy, self-centered. But this pure love is such that, Krishna has relinquished his position as the supreme controller. He's given up his position as supreme controller and given it in the hands of Radharani, saying, you control me. I'm under your control. That is the purity of that love. Otherwise, Krishna will not give that, right? Shukadeva Goswami says, Krishna gives mukti but not bhakti. So this is the purity of Radharani's love. अतएव से भाव अंगीकार करी साधि लेन निज वांछा Gauranga Sri Hari. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desires, which was already spoken about, right? So let's see. This phase of conjugal love, Parakya, is found in those who have surrendered to the Lord in intense love. Knowing well that such illicit love with a paramour is not morally approved in society. The risks involved in such love of Godhead make this emotion superior to the relationship in which such risk is not involved. Prabhupada is saying that there is risk involved because it is illicit. It is not morally approved. But the risks involved make this emotion superior. The validity of such risk, however, is possible only in the transcendental realm. Sakya and Parakya, conjugal love of Godhead, have no existence in the material world, and Parakya is not exhibited anywhere in Vaikuntha. Krishna. Okay. Sureshanam Durgam Gatir Atis. Okay, long verse. Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be an object of my vision? Essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. This is from Prathama and Dvitiya Sri Chaitanya Astaka Stavamala. Both these, previous verse and this verse. Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He's tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. भावग्रहणे ग्रहणेर हेतु कैल धर्म स्थापना Tara mukhya hetu kahi shuna sarvajana. To accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and re-established the religious system for this age. I shall now explain the reason. Everyone, please listen. Mula hetu age shlokera kaila bhasa ebe kahi sei shlokera artha prakasha. Now till now, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has been only giving hint, having first given hints about the verse, describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared. Now I shall manifest its full meaning. Of course, because Prabhupada has given these purports, etc., we understood. But now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is now giving his full meaning. Dada Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladinir Shaktirasmad Ekatmanam Vapi Bhuvi Pura Deha Bhedam Gatauto Chaitanyakyam Pakatam Aduna Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhavadutis Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure for giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani. Although he is Krishna himself. This is the fifth verse of the 14 verses in the first chapter we discussed. Radha Krishna Eka Atma Duhi Deha Dhari Anyonye Vilase Rasa Aswadana Kari. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they've assumed two bodies. Thus they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. So they're one and the same. So there's no question of anything illicit here. So they're one and the same. Say Dui Eka Ebe Chaitanya Gosai Rasa Aswadite Dohe Kailak Hailak Eka Thani. Now, to enjoy rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyway, they are one. They separated in from time infinite because they wanted to enjoy love. Now they have again united. So, what is the issue? I mean, they were one. They separated. Now they again united in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ithi lagi age kari tara vivarana yaha haite hoya gaurera mahima khatana. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that description, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known. Radhika hayena Krishnera pranaya vikara swarupa shakti ladini nama yahara. Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his internal energy called Ladini. See, now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he started Chaitanya Charitamrita. He is just delving into tattva after tattva. There are no, nectarian pastimes of Radha and Krishna being discussed. It's all heavy tattva. Hitting. Understand what this is, understand what it is. Then you can asvadana, then you can experience the bliss because you will understand exactly what their position is. Right? So always, we should first understand rasa tattva, then we can experience rasa. And that is why in ISKCON little bit sometimes devotees take the reverse route. They want to taste the rasa. Of course, I mean initially maybe they little bit of taste, then arouses their interest further. But when that interest arouses, we should first understand tattva. It's not that we put tattva aside and only keep hearing some pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and that way we will never understand them in tattvataha. We'll never understand the real position. So we have to understand tattva, and this tattva is so amazing. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Similarly, Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. It's Krishna's love only. It has transformed into Srimati Radhika. Because she came from him. So it is Krishna's love. So Krishna's love, which was within him, transformed as her. She is his internal energy. She is his internal pleasure-giving energy. So which means that energy, that love was within him, which was giving him pleasure, it came out as Srimati Radhika. That's all. So we have to understand it is that energy of Krishna which was giving him pleasure, and it was internal to him, but he desired to experience that love externally, and thus Srimati Radhika manifested. So she is that form of Ladini. She is that form of happiness of Krishna. She is that form that gives happiness to Krishna. Ladini, Maha Bhava Swarupini. So she's Ladini Swarupini also. She is the Swarupa Shakti. She is the Swarupa Shakti. Ladini. Ladini Karaya Krishna Anandasvadana Ladinira Dwara Kare Bhaktera Poshana. So this Ladini Shakti is very, very important because this Ladini Shakti, Radharani, gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. So devotees are nourished by devotional service, which is also Ladini Shakti, which is nothing but Radharani. So nourishing means on the transcendental platform. So on the transcendental platform, that nourishment in bhakti is due to Ladini. If it is, if we are attached to Maya, then it will be materially we'll get nourished, which means spiritually we'll get malnutrition. So if we have to get nourished by Ladini, then we have to give up Maya, Mahamaya. Then we will get nourished by Ladini, because the same Mahamaya who will then act on the internal platform, Yoga Maya. So this Ladini Shakti is the cause for, is the cause of nourishment for devotees as well as Krishna's pleasure. Sachidananda Purna Krishnera Swarupa Eka Ichit Shakti Tara Dharektina Rupa. Lord Krishna's body is eternal. Sat Chit Ananda. His one spiritual energy manifests three forms. Anandamshe Hladini Sadamshe Sandhini Chidamshe Samvityarit Gnanakarimani. Hladini is this aspect of bliss. Sandhini is of eternal existence. Samvit is of cognizance. Ladini Sandhini Samvit Tvai Eka Sarva Samstitau Lada Tapakari Mishra Tvaina Guna Varjite. O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes Ladini, Sandhini, Samvit exist in you as one spiritual energy. But the material modes which cause happiness, misery, and mixtures of the two do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. So material energy doesn't exist in Krishna, because that is why it is external, Bahiranga. So the internal energy, that is why Yoga Maya manifests as Mahamaya. Because there are no material qualities in Krishna. Sandhinira Sara Amsha Shuddha Sattva Nama Bhagavanera Satta Yahate Vishrama. The essential portion of Sandhini is Shuddha Sattva. Lord Krishna's existence rests upon it. Okay, I will stop here because this is going into one more tattva. So this requires some explanation. I need to conclude earlier today because I need to go somewhere. So I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, comments, we can discuss. Hey, most of the tattva we had discussed yesterday, so I guess there won't be any much questions. Anything? Anybody? Okay, we can conclude. Ki Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo cha Patitana Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavabhyo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare